What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Jake, and today I'm going to do something super special for you guys, something that I've wanted to do for a very long time. A Kendrick Lamar comprehensive songs tier list. And just a caveat, by comprehensive, I'm referring to songs from these albums, as well as the Drake disses, because in my mind, this is what his core discography is made of. Now, if you disagree with that, you can go ahead and make your own list. I mean, I know there's a lot more songs out there, but in my mind, this is what I want to listen to. This is when I go back to listen to Kendrick, these are the songs that I listen to. So that's what I'm gonna rank. And also for Good Kid, Mad City, I'm not doing the the director's cut deluxe edition. No deluxe edition for me, because I think the core story of this album is told by these songs here. And this is the second time I'm filming this because, as this is really my first YouTube video, I definitely made some mistakes on the first one that I wanted to correct. And, if I were Kendrick Lamar, I wouldn't have put it out. He's a perfectionist. I feel I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and maybe that's why I enjoy his music so much. Kendrick really is my favorite artist, and I am very pleased to be making this video, so I better get into it because I would love to keep this under 90 minutes if possible. There's a lot of music here, 112 songs, and I'm going to do my best to rank them in order, pretty much, from my favorite to my least favorite, as well as putting them into tiers along the way. Without further ado, let's get into it. Now, I will be going in chronological order. The first album he released is Overly Dedicated. Kind of an album. I guess this is usually referred to as a mixtape, but this is really, in my mind, his first real album. And Growing Apart to Get Closer, I think, is a pretty mid song. I like Janae Aiko on it, but there's really not too much that I care for here. Moving on, Ignorance is Bliss. I think this is pretty clearly the best song on Overly Dedicated. I'm definitely going to put that in great. I really like to go back and listen to this song, which I cannot say for most of these. Next, we got P&P 1.5, which P&P here is Pussy and Patron. I don't love this song. This is going in mid. I really don't like Absol's verse, but overall, I don't hate it as much as I maybe did when I first listened to it. It's okay. Yeah. Then we have Alien Girl. I don't like this song at all. This is just going in bad. Nothing else needs to be said. Next, we have Opposites Attract, which is kind of, a traditional relationship drama song. Kendrick has a lot of these. It's going in mid, though. Then we have Michael Jordan. Now, this one's kind of a little more of I wouldn't say banger, but it's not really upbeat either. Kind of like a backseat freestyle vibe, though. A lot of bravado involved. But I like it a lot less than backseat freestyle. I do like it more than P&P 1.5, though. I think Growing Apart is just a little more groovy, so it'll nestle into the mid here. Now, ROTC interlude. You might notice I have an interlude category here, but this is only going to be for select interludes. If there are certain interludes that I actually enjoy, especially on To Pimp a Butterfly here, and ROTC interlude is one that I actually enjoy. ROTC means right on time conscious. Basically, like he's, if you haven't listened to it, rapping about. He's being tempted by selling drugs, like the opportunity to make a lot of money, and then he's like, oh wait, I don't want to do that, and that's kind of the end. And it's a pretty short song, which is why I think it's an interlude, but I really like this song. I think I'm gonna put it in good. Another thing about Overly Dedicated is the production overall is worse than on his later albums. I don't think he even had like a really professional recording crew yet at this point. So we're going to start getting a lot better production, and I'll start rating songs higher, if for no other reason than that, later on. Next we have Barbed Wire, which is kind of a song about The barbed wire represents like all of these barriers that are put up to prevent people from getting ahead, especially black people in America. You'll see that theme obviously throughout the discography here. This song's good. I definitely prefer ROTC Interlude, but there's nothing wrong with it. Next up, we've got Average Joe, which I think is one of the most underrated Kendrick Lamar songs in the entire discography. I hadn't really heard it. I mean, I've listened to Overly Dedicated before, but it didn't stick in my mind until going back and doing a lot of the prep work for this video. And, you know, this song is kind of like a prelude to Good Kid, Mad City, I think, where, like, Average Joe is kind of what he refers to himself in place of a good kid in the context of Good Kid, Mad City. But in the context of Overly Dedicated. And it really covers a lot of the themes, just like trying to get by and be a good person, trying to survive. But there's all sorts of different things pulling him in different directions. I think this song is great, to be honest. I don't like it quite as much as Ignorance is Bliss, but yeah, it's going in great for sure. Next up, we have HOC, or High Off Contact, I think it stands for. Basically a song about how everyone around him does weed, but Kendrick doesn't smoke weed. It's going in mid. I don't know. I don't care for this. Then we have Cut You Off to Get Closer. Another really bad song, in my opinion. He's like, you know, he's going to cut the girl off, I guess. That's basically all it's about. I don't even know. It's not that deep and not that good. And finally, She Needs Me. Now, if you've only listened to one song on Overly Dedicated, it's probably this one. This song is, I mean, fairly popular. I really like the Dom Kennedy part. Overall, good vibe. But it's going to go in good. I don't think it's nearly as deep as these two songs, or, you know, Kendrick's discography is very deep, very rich in nuance and lyricism, and this just is not. So we're going to have a lot of songs in Perfect, Amazing, and Great during this video. This is not one of them. Next up, we're on to Section 80, which is Kendrick's first true LP. And, you know, there's a lot of songs that I really like on here. It's definitely more... it's less refined than his later work, for sure. But that's okay. I mean, no one's... If your first LP is your best, I mean, I don't think that's a good sign for your longevity in your career, or for, you know, you being that tremendous of an artist. Because if you do anything perfect the first time, or the best you can ever do it the first time, I think that means you're just not committed to growing as an individual. Anyways, let's get into it. First up, we have Fuck Your Ethnicity. This song, it's gonna go into great, I think. I mean, I don't like it as much as these two, though. There's actually more interesting lyrics here than I think it gets credit for. But he gets a little bit conscious in this one, too, where it's basically just like, I don't care about your ethnicity, just like come vibe with me on this album. But it's not my favorite. It can go in great, though. I'll listen to this at any time. Next up, we have Hole Up, which is a very vibey song, kind of like a bravado song where I think this is one where he's like on the airplane, or the metaphorical airplane, and he wants to fuck the flight attendant in front of all the passengers. I think it's really groovy, and I'm willing to put it in great, just above Fuck Your Ethnicity, in fact, but not my favorite. Next up, we have ADHD, which is maybe a lot of people's introduction to Kendrick Lamar, because it was on the Grand Theft Auto 5 soundtrack. I think it's great, but I definitely think this song is overrated. However, I can definitely put it, and this is the highest rated of the songs we've seen so far. Next up, we are going to go with No Makeup, Her Vice. I don't really like this song. I know there's like a 3-part series about the prostitute, or there are 2 prostitutes. I think it's Tammy and Keisha. But this one is definitely my least favorite, and it's going to go in the mid. I definitely like it more than HOC, though. Next up is the next one in that trilogy, Tammy's song, Her Evils. I also don't really like this song very much. This is going to go into mid as well. Then we have Chapter 6. This is an interlude. Now, Ronald Reagan era. This, I think, is one of the most underrated Kendrick songs, especially from Section 80. It's very political, and I think Kendrick does a great job when he gets political, and the production's pretty good overall. I think honestly, I can put this song into it, and this will be our first amazing of the day. Next up, we got Po Man's Dreams. This is a super vibey song. I really like the electric piano, and Kendrick's flow is also. I think Kendrick's flow overall is underrated. He's got a lot of that voice changing and theatrics throughout his records, which he's super known for. But I don't think his flow is really rated as highly as it should be. And I really like Po Man's Dreams. I think I'm gonna put this song into great. I don't think it's quite as good as ADHD, but I do like it more than Ignorance is Bliss. I think it's just a little more refined. Ignorance is Bliss is still a bit raw production wise. Next up, we got Chapter 10. This is also an interlude. Then we have Keisha's song Her Pain, which, if you don't know, Kendrick wrote for his sister. It's like a story about this prostitute's life. Ends in tragedy. This is a really deep song. Definitely gonna go into amazing. One of his best from his early records for sure. Next up, we got Rigor Mortis, which I'm just gonna put into perfect. Amazing flow here. He really doesn't modulate his voice very much, and it's very consistent throughout. But that kind of fits the Rigor Mortis theme of being stiff. He absolutely spits on this track. This is definitely, it's my second favorite song off Section 80. I would say, as we're gonna see down here. This one's a little less deep and more on the bravado side, but I'm a huge fan. I don't think there's anything he could do to improve it. Then we have Kush and Corinthians. I think this song is pretty well rated. I think people really like this song, and I really like this song. Not quite as deep as Keisha's song, but it's kind of touches on the duality of man. If you've seen Full Metal Jacket, one of my favorite movies, I feel like that concept of battling between what's right, represented by the Corinthians, and vices, and doing I guess what you want to do the most, or falling victim to your desires, which is represented by Kush here. This is an amazing song. Then we have Blow My High, members only. I don't really care for this song, to be honest. I think I'm gonna put it in mid. It's a little better to listen to than these two, but not great overall. Then we have Absol's outro, which I actually love. It does a great job of summing up this album. This is really kind of like, if High Power is the encore, this is like the falling action after the climax, which I guess we're hitting around Kush and Corinthians on this album. Kendrick's albums, I think they tend to have this, end portion where it maybe slows down a little bit, and then there's one really great song at the end. But Absol's outro is actually pretty underrated. I don't hear people talk about it a lot. I think I'm going to put it into amazing, to be honest. Yeah. It's a little better than Ronald Reagan era. Definitely, I honestly think it starts to get into a little bit of the To Pimp a Butterfly style of production. And I really like it. And then finally, we have what I think is the best song on Section 80, High Power. About, Kendrick references some Black Panther members, and he talks about how powerful black leaders often get killed or are at the very least opposed by the American government. And he's kind of saying, I want to be a vocal leader for black people too. If I wind up dead, the government shot me. This is a great song. If you haven't listened, absolutely go listen to it. And now we're getting to the real meat and potatoes of the Kendrick discography with Good Kid, Mad City. And if a lot of people would say this is their favorite Kendrick album, if you do, I definitely wouldn't blame you. Although it's definitely my second favorite. But it just starts off great. Shireen, aka Master Splinter's daughter. This is a very underrated song. If you actually sit down and listen to the lyrics, it basically starts to tell the story of Good Kid, Mad City, the short film. where it's like it's the backstory, and then you've got the actual process of him going to see Shireen, which will come up later when he gets jumped. Also introduces the interaction, the phone calls with his parents throughout the album. This song's just highly underrated. It's going in amazing. I honestly think it's better than Keisha's song. To be, it's actually deeper than a lot of people give it credit for, and I love the production. So go listen to this. Actually, listen to it and put the lyrics next to it while you listen, and you'll not be disappointed. Next up, we got "Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe," one of the singles off GKMC. I think this song's pretty overrated, and I think about it about the same as I think about ADHD. In the great. Not much else to be said. Then we have "Backseat Freestyle," which is kind of a bravado song. All my life I want money and power. It's really fun to listen to in the car, though. I can probably rap this almost word for word. I'm going to put it in great. I like it more than "Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe." There's not a lot going on it. It's fairly simple, but I think that it serves its purpose very well on this record. Next up, we got "The Art of Peer Pressure," which is, I think a lot of people know, one of the best storytelling songs of Kendrick Lamar's career. Tells the story of him and his friends going out and trying to hit a lick. Things go wrong. Yada, yada, yada. The flow is amazing. Super low-key song, but definitely one of his best. I'm putting in perfect. This is where Kendrick's at his best for sure, when he's telling a story like this. I think High Power is a little better, but definitely this feels fair. Then we got Money Trees, going straight and perfect. This song, super cinematic, feels great. Great vibe in the car. I can definitely rap this song word for word. And it's fun time. The Beach House sample is amazing. I love this song. Nothing else to be said. Then we got "Poetic Justice" featuring Drake. This song is amazing. It's it's got the story of him telling Shireen like she's beautiful, trying to like make her feel good about herself, I guess. But she's also got Drake playing the role of like the tough other man in her life on the other shoulder, and she's more into that, I guess. This song definitely amazing. I don't think it's as good as "Kush and Corinthians" though. So it can go right there. Yeah, a little better than Absol's outro, or at least I prefer to listen to it. Then we got "Good Kid." I honestly think this song is underrated. Maybe it's just good that everything else on "Good Kid, Mad City" is so good that it kind of overshadows it. I don't think it's quite as good as "Poetic Justice." Maybe it is better actually. It tells a good story. I'm gonna put it a little higher. I think Keisha's song is a little deeper. Yeah, I'm comfortable with that. Then we got "Mad City," super cinematic. This song sounds great. It's produced so well. MC8's amazing. I didn't even mention J-Rock's verse on "Money Tree" is also so good. These are the two best songs on "Good Kid, Mad City." I don't think much else needs to be said. If you haven't heard these songs, you're probably not watching this video, to be honest. Then we got "Swimming Pools," "Drank." This is a super, party vibe song, which is kind of ironic because it's kind of about the why you shouldn't use alcohol, or about at least shows the negative effects of alcohol. And Kendrick's, talking to his conscience after it's kind of like he's super out of it. I mean, so catchy. I used to listen to this song even before I started partying in high school. Yeah, I don't think it's quite perfect, and it's probably not as good as Shireen in my opinion, to be honest. But it's amazing. I'm comfortable with that. A lot more talking to do. Gotta stay hydrated. Alright, next we got "Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst." This is going in the top of perfect. If you know Kendrick's discography at all, you know this is gonna live here. One of the greatest storytelling songs of all time. I mean, the production matches each verse so well. You've got the first verse where it's from a few different perspectives. I think this is about his friend's perspective at the end. He gets shot and just like, man, his voice cuts out. Second verse is about prostitute. It might be the same prostitute from one of the same prostitutes from Section 80. And she's like, at the end, her voice starts to trail off over probably like 20, 30 seconds as she's saying like, never gonna fade away, blah, blah, blah. It's just, this is only the first part, Sing About Me. Then you've got I'm Dying of Thirst. I can't do this song justice. I don't know why I'd even try. Just go listen to this if you haven't. It's perfect. It might be the best song ever made. That's enough. Enough said. Next up, we've got Real, which is kind of summing up the whole album, talking about how, participating in, robbery and violence and, trying to act tough. That's not what's really real. What's real is having responsibility, like taking care of the people around you, learning how to be a person in this world. I don't love listening to this song, to be honest, but I still think it deserves to go into Amazing because of the story it tells and, because it's wrapping up one of the best albums ever made. And finally, we have Compton. Definitely, this is my least favorite track on Good Kid, Mad City. I think both Dr. Dre and Kendrick rap on this track, and they do a great job. The production's pretty good, pretty cinematic. But I don't really care for it that much. I think I can put it here. I think Average Joe actually tells a good enough story that I'm comfortable putting it above Compton. Just with how high all the highs are on this album, Compton doesn't quite meet that. Excuse me. And now we're on to what I think is Kendrick Lamar's best album. Certainly the best produced. Now, I'm not a jazz expert, but absolutely one of the best jazz and funk albums that I've ever listened to. Just production-wise. Not to mention the fact that Kendrick Lamar raps over all of these songs. I mean, so deep, so good. I better get into it, but we're going to be living in perfect and amazing up here. First up, we got Wesley's Theory, just out of the gate. Hits so hot. I think I like it a little more than Money Trees. Definitely more. There's more to the production here. And it's a little deeper. I like Mad City a little bit more. But if you put Wesley's Theory over Mad City, I couldn't be mad at all. Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst on the other hand. Definitely better than Wesley's Theory, but... Oh. Got something in my chest. The words just want to come out too fast, I guess. Alright, next up we got For Free, Interlude. This is not going an interlude. This song is perfect. I'm a huge fan. I think I like it more than Rigor Mortis, to be honest. I love the jazz part. Super catchy. This dick ain't free. Yep, Kendrick is so great. Even the interludes are so good on this album. I mean, no one's ever done an album like this. Anyways, next up we got King Kunta. I think this song is amazing. Kind of like Swimming Pools Drank, Backseat Freestyle. I love to listen to this in the car. Not super deep. This is definitely one of the more, bravado-heavy songs out of Kendrick's discography. I think I like it slightly more than Keisha's song. Honestly, I think Good Kid is... I think I like it more than Real. About as much as Real, at least. And I like it a little more than King Kunta. It's a little more going on as far as lyrical depth. So yeah, I'm happy with that. And that. Then we have Institutionalized. It's kind of a song about, not being able to escape... Kendrick not being able to escape his roots. Institutionalized by the... what's the word? What am I trying to say? By the circumstances he grew up in. This song is amazing. Definitely better than this. I think I like it just about as much as King Kunta, to be honest. Then we have These Walls, which, at first glance kind of sounds like a sex song. It's about these walls of a woman, if you know what I'm talking about. But there's actually a lot of double entendre involved. This is a really amazing song lyrically. And it's about, like the depth of their relationship goes a lot deeper than just these walls, as it were. I'm putting it in amazing. For sure. Yeah, it's even deeper than this. And not to mention, super funky, sounds amazing. This song is amazing for sure. Then we've got You. It's going straight into perfect. If you haven't listened to this song, oh my god, go listen to it. The production matches what's going on so well. Kendrick basically just singing about all the things he hates about himself, and it goes into the second part where he's getting drunk, starts slurring his words, and you hear the ice clinking in the glass, and he's just like talking about every failure he's ever had in life. Definitely one of the most introspective songs ever. One of my favorites for sure. It's going up there. And we've got All Right, which is definitely one of the most popular songs off To Pimp a Butterfly, an anthem. Great production. Basically, Kendrick saying, no matter what happens, we're gonna be all right. Keep your head up. Definitely a very positive song, and it's perfect for sure. I think I like Money Trees a little bit more, a little longer, a little more going on, but All Right's definitely perfect. Then we've got the For Sale interlude, which I like a little less than the For Free interlude. It's kind of like Lucy talking in his head, Lucifer, about trying to tempt him with all these, worldly pleasures. I do think I like Rigor Mortis a bit more than it, but it's going in perfect. Great production. Yeah. Then we got Mama. This song is one of the easiest listening songs on To Pimp a Butterfly, and it doesn't disappoint lyrically either. Super, super groovy. I think... Do I put it in perfect? I think I like it a little bit more than For Free, to be honest. So it's going to have to go in perfect. But the Art of Peer Pressure definitely tells a better story. So I'm comfortable with that. The depth of the production on these songs is so immense. It's hard to rate these songs below these earlier songs. Then we got Hood Politics, which for similar reasons I think is going to go up there. Definitely harder listening. This is not a song that I would just throw on the aux. But I think lyrically has a little more going on than Mama. I like The Art of Peer Pressure a little bit more still. So it can go there. I still think it's perfect. Then we got How Much Dollar Cost, another excellent storytelling song by Kendrick. Amazing production. About the song talks about the perspective of money. Kendrick wants to hold on to all of his money, but there's a homeless man just asking for $1. I guess in a literal sense, the dollar cost Kendrick a chance to go to heaven, but I think it's a lot deeper than that. It's really about trying to take the perspective of somebody else before you judge them, before you treat them a certain way. This song is definitely perfect. People consider this song being one of Kendrick's perfect too. I don't think anybody is going to take issue with this. Then we've got Complexion, A Zulu Love, which this is a really funky song, featuring Rhapsody also. She has a great verse. Kendrick is great on this song. It's not quite perfect in my eyes. I don't like it quite as much as these, but it can go into amazing. I think it's better than Shireen too. Just Under These Walls. Then we got The Black of the Berry, another one. This one's going straight up into perfect. I think I like You slightly more than The Black of the Berry, a little deeper, but this is Kendrick really at his angriest, and I like angry Kendrick. He absolutely spits on this song. The production super intense. And it's basically it's both Kendrick telling the story of him being angry at racism in America, but also angry at himself for participating in the cycle of violence. And I think it really highlights the that Kendrick is recognizing the importance of having some individual responsibility, even though the world around you is pushing you in certain ways, pushing people in certain ways. He feels the need to, like, he feels angry at himself for killing a blacker than me, to quote him. This song is perfect. Then we got You Ain't Gotta Lie, Mama Said, which I don't like. I think this is probably my least favorite song on To Pimp a Butterfly. Kind of a little late lull here before we get to the finale, but it's still going in great. I mean, on this album, like, if the worst song is going in great. That's how good this album is. Then we've got I, which is an anthem about, he says, I love myself. Really is talking about, despite it all, like, he stays positive. Another positive song, like, Alright. He stays positive. He loves himself. And at the end of this album version, which is what I'm considering in the ranking here, it's he goes into this spoken word section when people get unruly at this live recording of this song, and talking about how people need to come together when people are divided. Like, the people in power who are trying to divide people do not have their best interest at heart, and especially for black people in America, they need to come together. And I mean, I think this applies more generally to the working class as well. United we stand, apart we fall, sort of vibe. I'm a big fan of this song. It's going in perfect. I think I like it because of that spoken word part at the end. I think I can put it ahead of The Art of Peer Pressure. This song in itself is telling a story. And it's super fun to listen to as well. Great production. Kendrick's amazing. I'm happy with that. And finally, we've got Mortal Man, which some people call this song an interlude. I don't think it is at all. The first third of the song is a great song. More angry Kendrick. He's spitting. Talking about, similar, I guess, to High Power, where he's acting as, like, the vocal leader in the black community, and he's saying that's not going to be taken well by powerful people in America. And so when shit hits the fan, are you still a fan? And then also, he, if you haven't heard the song, goes into this spoken word portion that has a Tupac interview in it, intertwined in it, where Kendrick is basically writing questions as if he was asking the questions to Tupac, and Tupac is giving his responses. But I mean, it's super beautiful. I even struggled to describe what's going on. But Tupac died, 15 years before this album came out. So to do this, it's such a beautiful thing. And Kendrick also, explains the poem To Pimp a Butterfly, finishes the poem that he's been building throughout the album. Yeah, this song is so good. I'm putting it in perfect. I think Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst is just ever so slightly better, but I love Mortal Man. And that concludes To Pimp a Butterfly. And we're on to Untitled Unmastered, which has a lot of songs that didn't make the cut on To Pimp a Butterfly. And it's kind of a compilation album as well. I think that's what people refer to it as. Definitely not, I don't care for it as much as Good Kid, Mad City and To Pimp a Butterfly, but there's some groovy songs for sure, and definitely some depth as well. And let's just get into it. So we got Untitled 01. I think this song is amazing. This one I think it's a little better than Ronald Reagan era production-wise. This one really would feel at home in To Pimp a Butterfly. Then we have Untitled 02, which is even better than Untitled 01. And this is probably the most popular song on Untitled Unmastered. How does this go? It's like, get God on the phone. I mean, really, some really good verses on here. I'm a big fan. And it's definitely better than Untitled 01. So it's going to go up here. Then we got Untitled 03. Kind of about financial struggles of being an artist or dealing with the record industry. I don't care for the production as much as I care for T-Pab or the rest of Untitled Unmastered, to be honest. I think it can go into great, though. Definitely not as good as average. I think Compton's even still better than that, though. Production's better than on Hole Up and Fuck Your Ethnicity, though. Definitely deeper as well. Then we have Untitled 04. This is an interlude. And then Untitled 05, which I think the production really feels kind of similar to You, where it's like a spiraling kind of sound to it. I don't really like the verses on it, but the sample on it is really, really good. And I think the sample alone can carry it up into great. Somewhere near Untitled 03, to be honest. Maybe I like it slightly more. Then we have Untitled 06, which is like a funk sample. I don't think the rapping is very impressive, and the production's good, but I don't think it's up to the standard set by the rest of these songs. So I think I'm going to put it into good. And I actually think I like ROTC Interlude even more than I like Untitled 06. Yeah. Then we have Untitled 07, often called Levitate. It's got that, really a 3-part song. I don't really care for any of the parts of this song, to be honest. The first part, like Levitate, 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 over some pretty good production, is definitely the best, but it's also like an 8-minute song, just drags on for way too long. I don't care for this. It's probably better than... It's definitely going into good. I think I like it a little more than She Needs Me, but I wouldn't just want to turn this song on at any time. I think anything that I'm going to put in great or above has to be a song that I would want to listen to at any time. I would never say no to it. Untitled 07, I could definitely see myself saying no. And then finally, we've got Untitled 08, which I think I like a little bit more than Untitled 07. More upbeat, and it's just tighter, Untitled 07 is like a rambling song. And I don't really care for a rambling song. Untitled 08, definitely better. Now, back to a full, studio LP concept album. Damn, won a Pulitzer Prize. This was one of the biggest albums of 2017. I think Kendrick was well respected for what he did before, but this was definitely one of his, he burst on the scene, like the massively popular scene with this album for sure. And, Damn, I was listening to probably every day when it came out. That summer I was mowing lawns. I listened to this album a lot. To Pimp a Butterfly, for example, I didn't even listen to that regularly until 2022, 2023. It's a lot deeper, and I had to grow up to actually understand what's going on here, I think, and learn more about the world. But Damn, definitely easier listening overall. Still definitely plenty of depth, but it's not... There's a lot about, as you can see, emotions. Kendrick is discussing, his own emotions, his own temptations, a lot more so than To Pimp a Butterfly and even Good Kid, Mad City, that I think are trying to tell stories about society more so. Anyways, we can get into it. First we have Blood, which is kind of the intro song. Not a ton going on, but I really like listening to this. I'm going to put it in great. Fuck Your Ethnicity and Hold Up, those are actual songs. Blood doesn't have much in the way. The production's great, but there's not really any rapping. So it's going there. Then we have DNA. This song's amazing. I don't think I can put it in perfect, just because I want, a little bit more. It doesn't really have much productive depth in it, I would say. But I definitely like it. I like it more than Shireen, for sure. The production on these ekes it out a little bit. Then we have Ya. I think this is my least favorite song on Damn, for sure. There's also a lot of religious themes on this album, this is one of the songs with religious themes, but the lyrics don't have that much depth to them. Even so, I think I can put it on top of the mid tier and be comfortable. And I'll listen to this song. Like, Damn's a good album to listen to all the way through, but I don't care for that. Then we have Element, which is another song I really don't care for. It's gonna go into good, and I think I'd rather listen to ROTC Interlude than Element, for sure. Yeah. And Untitled 06, that's worse. We have Feel. This song I think is pretty underrated, although I think is growing on people more. People like it more now than they did when it came out. I think I can put it in perfect, to be honest. Not quite as good as Rigor Mortis. But I really like how, this kind of song kind of builds, and by the end, Kendrick's feeling very frustrated, and it really shows in his voice and the production as well. I just love listening to this song. I wouldn't change anything about it, so I'm going to put it in perfect. Then we got Loyalty featuring Rihanna. Definitely one of the most radio-friendly songs in Kendrick's whole catalog, to be honest. I think because it's a song, I can put it above Blood, but yeah, I don't really like this song that much. And Kendrick doesn't really have any, doesn't display any rapping prowess. So it's going to go into great. I'll listen to this song, but not my favorite. Then we have Pride, which, I think people like this song a lot for the Steve Lacy production and like I don't know if you'd call it a chorus, but it's kind of like the backing track. But actually the lyrics in here are quite deep. I would recommend you go read them if you haven't. I don't think I'm going to put it quite into perfect. I think it's a little worse than Shireen, but it's definitely going to amazing. One of my favorites on Damn for sure. And then we have Humble. I'm guessing everybody knows this song for the most part. In fact, I would say it is extremely overplayed. I'm going to put it into great. But I really do not care for this song that much at all. I think I like Ignorance is Bliss even more. The bars on it are good, but it really doesn't have much depth at all. This is more of like the hit-making Kendrick, showing off that side of himself, which there's nothing wrong with, but can't compete with the more deep songs in the discography at all. Then we have Lust. God, I really need this water. Which I think is great also. I mean, what did I even write about it? I do have some, notes on every song over here because there's so many songs. I can't possibly remember everything I want to say about every one of them. And Lust is one of them that doesn't really stand out in my mind. Yeah, it's like the monotony of life. It's like the story of the woman like goes to the mall, has sex with her boyfriend, eats food, just like kind of, but the production matches the monotony of that for sure. And yeah, it's definitely an average Kendrick song. Yeah, average Kendrick song, which for Kendrick, I think it's going to end up in great. And I do actually like listening to it more than Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, to be honest. I just don't really care to listen to these. Yeah, anything from Hero Lore is like, Lust I'll listen to. We can put it there. It's not going to compete with anything on TPAB, though. And then we have Love. I mean, this is kind of just like an average love song out of Kendrick. He does like to have like a love song on every album, I feel like. And usually they're not that good. And this one definitely is not that good either. So it's going in good. I love how for not that good for Kendrick ends up in good. I don't think it's mid, though. I think the production itself can carry it to good. Then we have XXX, which I think this song has grown on a lot of people, kind of like Feel. Definitely has grown on me. I didn't love this when Damn came out, but it's actually super, super good song. Production is excellent. I mean, we got Angry Kendrick again, where, the hook is kind of not that deep, but then when he starts talking about his friend's son was killed, and what would he do if that happened? He'd kill him. He'd wait for him outside a church. Like, he'd break all the rules. Like, kind of talking about how the violence present in America like the omnipresent violence in America really can take over everybody. Like XXX, representing like death. I think that's what it's mainly about. I think this is the second best song on Damn, and I think I like it even more than Hood Politics. Not as much as How Much a Dollar Costs. That's definitely deeper. But XXX, really excellent song. Has the YouTube sample, or YouTube feature rather, which I think is fine. But I think Kendrick on his own can put this song into perfect. Then we have Fear. Yeah, did I say this is the second best? This is actually the third best song on Damn. Fear is going into perfect. Right behind Wesley's Theory. I think it's deeper than Money Trees, so I can put it ahead for sure. It tells the story of 3 different phases of Kendrick's life, the fears that he felt. It's a pretty long song, but it's super deep. Production is amazing. I love this song. I mean, this is another one of Kendrick's, storytelling masterclasses. It's going in perfect. Then we have God. Back to the religious themes, but this is like, he's saying like, this is what God feels like. This is like the life that Kendrick is living, or I mean, it's both the life that he's living, but also just, how he's taking on life. He feels that good. He feels like God. Not that much going on in the song, though. I think ADHD is better, more has more lyrical depth. But I'd rather listen to God than Poe Man's Dreams. So I'll put it there. And finally, we have Duckworth. Once again, Kendrick has an absolute masterclass of storytelling, and there's the twist at the end. I mean, this song is so good. I think I like Fear ever so slightly more. But yeah, they're going to go side by side, to be honest. Fear is just, the story's a little deeper, but I mean, this song really ends the album well. And I mean, if you've listened to the collector's edition, this song is first. And either way, if that starts last or first, it's like the story of how Kendrick really, all of the coincidences that had to come together for Kendrick to be in the position that he is. And also in the process of telling that story, tells how there's so many things that can go wrong in someone's life to prevent them from reaching their full potential. This song is amazing. I don't think much more needs to be said. And now we're on to Miss Morale and the Big Steppers, which this album, kind of like To Pimp a Butterfly, definitely took some time. I had to listen several times before I really got what was going on. I mean, there's some really, really deep songs, especially early on here, actually throughout this album. Some lyrically really deep songs. I mean, I think you really need to sit down and listen with the lyrics to get a lot of what's happening here. But yeah, this album's grown on me a lot. I mean, there's also it's I think the production is also super good. Even these songs that don't display as much depth are like a really good listen, even more so than Damn. I actually really like this album now. It took me a while to get to that point, but I'm a big fan. Without further ado, let's start ranking it. And we've got United in Grief. Now, this song is super popular on TikTok right now. It's a TikTok trend. At least a very short part of it is. But I think this song is actually perfect. It's better than Feel. What did I have for notes on this? I mean, it really is beautiful. The production drives the song. Kendrick in this is talking about how he grieves different, and how he grieves is by spending money. That's kind of just what's shown to him. But the production kind of, and the rest of this album will bear out that actually, even though he tries to grieve by spending money and participating in that capitalistic cycle, that it doesn't actually work, and he ends up going to therapy and having to battle with himself a lot. This is a perfect song, though. And it displays that very well. Next, we've got N95, which is definitely more of a hard-hitting song. I definitely can put it in Amazing, but I like it more than Untitled 01. But I think there's a lot more depth, even as we get to Absol's outro and above, than on N95. And I just don't even want to think about COVID. I mean, this is kind of about, and the mask represents like how people use consumerism as a mask to hide themselves. So there's definitely some depth here. Not my favorite song ever, but I mean, there's so many. It's just still an amazing song. Then we have Worldwide Steppers. This is one of the most lyrically deep songs on the album for sure, and I'm going to put it in amazing for that reason. Definitely deeper than Ronald Reagan era. And it's a good listen. I would struggle to even explain all of the parts of the song. But if you go listen, I think listen to it twice. And if you still disagree with me, well, let me know in the comments. Next we have Die Hard. This is kind of one of those, poppy songs. Doesn't display a lot of lyricism. I don't know if it's a love song per se. I mean, I guess it is a love song. Super groovy. Not a lot of lyricism on display. I do like it more than Compton, though. It's going to go into great. I mean, see, that's the thing. There's going to be a lot of songs from this album that are, like, easy listening. Even there's a lot of songs that are hard listening, but there are songs that are easy listening. And I think all of those songs are going to go into great. Easy listening without a lot of, lyrical depth to them. They're going to live in great. Next, we have Father Time. This is one of the best songs on the album for sure. Going right to the top of amazing. I would like a little bit more, variety in the production, I think. But this is a song about, Kendrick having a very difficult father growing up and how that has affected him throughout his life. Super deep. I think could have, there's a lot of lessons to be gained through this, or at least it's a song about Kendrick learning lessons. Learning to understand the results of his childhood, and it's really beautiful. So it's an amazing. Then we have Rich Interlude. This one's going to go into interlude. It's only Kodak Black on this, so I don't really care for it. And then Rich Spirit after that. We're back to Kendrick. This is another one, though, kind of like Die Hard. I think it has a slight bit more depth than Die Hard. But still, not my favorite. Not a lot of lyrical depth on this one. Then we have We Cry Together, which is absolutely... this is the best song on Mr. Morale, for sure. I think I honestly like a little more than How Much a Dollar Costs. I mean, this is pretty deep. It's like him and Taylor Page in like a screaming fight over an Alchemist piano beat. This song, I mean, it's great to listen to. It's hard to listen to. Super brutal, this argument that they're having, but really is one of the most, I don't know what the word is. Is Kendrick at one of his most vulnerable moments for sure. I'm a big fan of this song. It can go into perfect. Then we have Purple Hearts, which is another super vibey song. Yeah, super vibey. I think I like it a little more than Average Joe. I feel a little bad. I think just the production quality on this one puts it a little bit above Average Joe, but the storytelling on Average Joe is better. These three songs, all kind of in the similar vein here. Then we have Count Me Out, which is definitely going to go up toward the top of amazing. I like it a little more than Complexion. This is another song that I think was big on TikTok. And really, I think the moment that this song is played has a lot to do with it. Overall, like when I went to the GNX tour, the moment this song was played was one of the best, it was one of the most poignant moments in the entire show. This song is amazing. I can got my shirt to prove it. Next, we've got Crown. This is, once again, this is going down here with Rich Spirit and Die Hard. Easy listening. I'm calling these great because I do enjoy listening to these. So I'll listen to this pretty much this entire album, beginning to end, generally without skipping, but not a lot of depth on display. Then we have Silent Hill, which is Kendrick and Kodak Black. I think I can put this in great. Definitely has more depth. Even more depth than Purple Hearts. Oh, where did it go? There it is. Yeah, more depth than Purple Hearts. About equivalent to listen to. Humble, I'll definitely give its flowers a little bit. I like it a little bit more. Then we have Savior Interlude, which also doesn't feature Kendrick, but actually has Baby Keem rapping, and I really, really like his verse. So, because Kendrick's not on it, I'm going to put it in great, just below Humble. But I love this song. Really, really good. And it leads perfectly into Savior. Definitely another one that I really, really like on this record. Yeah, not quite as deep. I mean, I think overall the production plus lyricism on this is really, really good. I think N95 is a little deeper as far as lyricism goes. But Savior is one of my favorites to listen to for sure. And if you listen to Savior Savior Interlude right into Savior with Kendrick, this is one of the best moments on the album for sure. Then we have Auntie Diaries, which this is a bit of a controversial song about Kendrick's aunt who transitioned to being a man. I mean, I think it's over. In all, I think it's a good thing that Kendrick released this song for no other reason than trans issues are not really talked about in media that much, and if they are, it's usually not in a good way. There's a lot of debate on how well Kendrick actually handled this. And it's a difficult song to listen to for sure, but I think because of the subject matter and how rare it is to actually talk about that, I think I'm going to put it into Amazing. I definitely like these two songs a bit more. But it's very, very deep overall. So I can put it into Amazing. Then we have Mr. Morale, which kind of starts to introduce Mother I Sober. So it talks a little bit about like the black generational trauma, which is kind of a theme toward the end of this album. I don't love this song that much, though. I think this might be my least favorite song on the album, to be honest. I think I like Element even more. Yeah, that's a good spot for it. And then, as I said, Mother I Sober, which is a song about Kendrick's mother because she was abused as a child. She won't believe that Kendrick was not abused, even though he repeatedly says he was not. And this is, a song about black generational trauma. And at the end, it's kind of triumphant in the fact that, Kendrick has broken that cycle. Kendrick and his parents and children have broken that cycle of abuse. This is a really, really tough listen. Really tough. But it's very important. This can definitely go into Amazing. Yeah. I'm going to put it above Swimming Pools, below Pride. I'm comfortable with that. Next we have Mirror. This is kind of a low point in this album. I'm glad that on the online version they have another song after it, because this would really be ending on like a low note. Kind of like Compton on Good Kid, Mad City. I'm just going to put it in good. I like it a little more than Element. It's a little bit more enjoyable to listen to, but I mean, the song's kind of... There's a good message to it, where Kendrick's basically saying, like, I choose me. Like, saying that, I can't be your savior because I'm interested in doing what's best for me and my family. And no matter how much he, tries to be a savior, at the end of the day, he has to do what's right for him. And I think that's kind of an overarching theme of this album. It's a good song, but I don't really care to listen to it. And then we have The Heart Part 5, finally. This song's amazing. I love the production. Super bouncy and fun. The horn part's great. They're pretty good. This song's about, like, the violence going on and in, like, the hood. The ills of hood culture, and how that, there are repeated cycles of violence that, bring everybody down. This song can go in Amazing. I think I like it more than Poetic Justice, to be honest. I'd rather listen to it than Poetic Justice. Yeah. That can go there. And we're definitely into the home stretch here, because every song here was released in the last year and a half. I mean, if you were somehow living under a rock, I guess you could have missed the Drake disses, but these songs were all massively successful. Propelled Kendrick's, massive year, and really was like a prelude to this album, GNX, coming out. And Euphoria really kicked off the beef. I know there was a couple songs before that, but not in Kendrick's actual catalog. It was the feature on Like That, and Drake also had a diss song, but then Kendrick just I gotta zoom out a little bit here, came out punching with Euphoria. And this song, I think, was the best of the beef. Super deep, just digging really deep into Drake. And, he says also in here, like, you think I've gone deep, but I can go so much deeper. Drake, of course, tried to go deeper, and that did not go so well for him. But the lyrics, I mean, this song is like, 4 or 5 minutes long of just absolute bars. This song's amazing. My favorite of the beef. Then we have 616 in LA, which is actually not on Spotify. It's not on any of them. It's only released on Instagram, actually. I'm a big fan of this song. I think the sample's amazing. I think the lyrics are heavily underrated. I think the song overall is just heavily underrated, probably because it's only on Instagram. I think it's not as good as How Much a Dollar Costs, but I think it's better than XXX, to be honest. Yeah, that's definitely where it belongs. It's actually lyrically so good, and this song kind of goads Drake into releasing, Family Matters? Yeah, Family Matters, and that was a mistake because after that, Kendrick was really pissed, and then he released Meet the Grams, which this is another super deep song. Really, really bites into Drake here. I think I even like it more than High Power. I was like, he's got the verses. Each verse is like a letter to one of Drake's family members, including a previously unknown daughter, which I still don't know if that was confirmed, but obviously during the Pusha T beef, it was revealed that Drake had a son. So he's got a verse, his parents have a verse. Drake is just on the ground eating punches at this point. Like, it's over. I don't know. Drake was not coming back from this song. And, it's a kind of a tough listen. I mean, I enjoy listening to it. Super, like, the beat is just diabolical. And what Kendrick does to Drake is absolutely diabolical here. Yeah, I don't think I need to say anymore. Most of us know what happened in this beef. And finally, there was Not Like Us, which I think was not... I think it was the worst song of the beef, but this was kind of just the Kendrick dancing on his grave. I mean, he's got millions of people chanting, he's not like us, or they not like us, calling Drake a pedophile. I think it's better than Rigor Mortis. Not like the greatest song lyrically, but cultural relevance, overall production, calling Drake a pedophile, like, this song did exactly what it needed to do. And it basically ended up being one of the songs this summer. Like, he was competing with Sabrina Carpenter after this. So for the people who said that Kendrick cannot make a hit, all the other hits that he's made notwithstanding, Mad City, Money Trees, Humble, DNA, Loyalty, some songs on GNX. He proved everything he needed to prove in this beef. And here we are, getting to the end of the road. GNX, not my favorite Kendrick album, but, this album, it's not really the same as the rest of Kendrick's albums. This is his first album not as part of TDE, and I think he's kind of trying to show off a lot of LA artists, and it's really like this album is about LA, Kendrick's love for LA and West Coast hip hop and rap in general. So he's doing something different. Kendrick's always doing something different, and I think that's definitely one of the best things about him. I don't think he would ever be satisfied doing the same thing forever, or staying in the same place as an artist. And he even mentions that in some of these songs. But this album is definitely good for what it is. And he starts out with a phenomenal song in Whacked Out Mirrors. More angry Kendrick. someone destroyed or vandalized the mural of Kendrick in Los Angeles. And that's what this song is about, but it's also about, he won the Super Bowl and Nas the only one congratulated him. Kind of a song about people hating on him for reasons that he cannot understand. And yeah, this song definitely going imperfect. I think it's deeper than 616 in LA. I like the production of this a little bit more, but lyrically this is better. Still, it's not going to be better than How Much a Dollar Cost, but it's perfect in its own right. Then we have Squabble Up, which is another like banger type song. There's a music video for it. I think I'm going to put this somewhere in amazing. It's definitely more enjoyable to listen to than like N95, for example. Yeah, I think Absol's outro is a little better, especially because we've got that like To Pimp a Butterfly type production. Squabble Up's definitely more of a bop, but not that deep. But it's amazing. Then we have Luther, which, this is a super, super groovy song. Like, the duet with SZA is amazing. But Kendrick, there's not much rapping, if any at all, going on here. I don't think I can put it any higher than great, to be honest, because of that. Somewhere like here, I think I like listening to it a little more than Purple Hearts, but yeah, this is another Kendrick Love song. Kendrick Love songs are not his best songs, but he's always got them. Love is on his mind. What can I say? Then we have Man at the Garden, which I don't like as much as Feel, but I think has, a pretty similar structure to Feel. Ending in, extreme frustration. He's really talking about, he thinks he deserves everything in the world. Look at everything I've done. I do deserve it all. I think it's like a very bravado filled like self-love song in a way. So I can put it in the top of grade. I think I like it more than Lust. Not as much as You Ain't Gotta Lie, though. The production here, yeah. I don't love listening to it as much as I would like to listen to Backseat Freestyle or You Ain't Gotta Lie. Then we have Hey Now, which for the rapping songs in this album, or the songs with features, I should say, this one I think Kendrick raps the most in. Super catchy. He actually, displays some lyricism on this one. I like it more than Man at the Garden. I'm comfortable putting it in great. Doesn't wow me. Everything in Amazing kind of wows me. Everything in Great I want to listen to, but doesn't wow me. And Hey Now doesn't wow me. But it's a good song. Then we have Reincarnated, which is definitely going to go into Amazing. I think it's not quite as good as Mother I Sober, but this one's super deep. More great Kendrick Lamar storytelling. It's on top of a Tupac, I would say, sample, but I think it's just, the entire instrumental track from the song Reincarnated is just over. And Kendrick kind of tells the stories of two different, struggling or, great artists from the past who struggle with their own issues. And Kendrick at the end is kind of saying he's the reincarnation of them. He's has his own issues that he's talked about, especially on Miss Morale and the Big Steppers. But also the insane musical talent. This is just a great listen. It's going in amazing. Then we have TV Off, which is one of my favorite Kendrick Lamar bangers of all time. Also so huge. Mustard! Everybody, I think, has heard this song, dang near. I don't think, it's not going to compete with these. It's definitely in a similar boat to King Kunta. I think Institutionalized is a little better production-wise. TV Off actually has really, really good production. Lyrically not so deep, but great song. Definitely can go in Amazing. Then we have Dodger Blue, which is kind of like a love song to LA. If one song on here is a love song to LA, it's Dodger Blue. But not that much lyrical depth in this song. It's definitely more of a groovy, vibey song. I think I can put it in great because I do really like to listen to this song. I know there are people who don't, but I do. Luther, it's definitely not as good as Luther, but I'd rather listen to it than like these songs in that similar vein from Mr. Morale. So that's a good spot for it. Then we got Peekaboo, which I think of in like the same way as I think of Hey Now, except this song is really carried by AZ Chike. Whereas, Kendrick actually does more rapping on Hey Now. Peekaboo, Kendrick only has like one verse on. Still, the production's really good. And I'll put this song in great. It's definitely, yeah, it's in the same position in my brain as like Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe and ADHD, even though these are pretty different songs. But I'd rather listen to this than God or Poe Man's Dreams or Ignorance is Bliss even. So that's a good spot for it. Now, then we got the Heart Part 6, or Heart Part 6, I should say. Drake obviously released the Heart Part 6, but I think Kendrick has successfully reclaimed Heart Part 6. This is really, a love song to TDE, and at the end he's talking about why, as an artist, he needs to move on, and why he needed to start PG Lang, because he wants to not take the reins as more of a producer and he wants to be the one who's allowing the next generation of rappers to take over. This is a really, really good song. I think I'm going to put it into Amazing. Yeah, it's really great to listen to. I think Untitled 01, definitely deeper. Yeah, definitely somewhere near the lower end of Amazing. I'll put it just over Worldwide Steppers because I would definitely rather listen to it than Worldwide Steppers. Then we have GNX. This is the worst song on the album for sure. Kendrick has a verse. There's 3 different rappers who have verses on it. None of them are that good. I think I'll put it in good. I don't hate listening to this song. I like it more than Mirror and Element and Mr. Morale for sure. But I'd actually definitely rather listen to ROTC or She Needs Me than GNX. But it's fine. Good is fine. And finally, we've reached the end of the road of Kendrick's current core discography. And what a better song. There could not be a better song to fit this moment. Gloria. I'm losing my voice. I've been talking so much. But, the same way that this song really puts a great end to this album, I'm very happy to be rating this song last. It's a song that tells the story of his career and through all the hardships, everything that Kendrick's been through. One thing's been there with him the entire time, and he reveals it in the last verse. That's his pen, or his writing, his music. SZA has such a good feature on this song. This song is so beautiful. It's going into perfect. For where it is, it's perfect. Do I like it more than XXX? I think I like it. I like it more than XXX for sure. I'll put 616 in LA just above it. No. It can go above 616. I love this song. It fits perfectly in the vibe of the album. The production is amazing. This song sounds heavenly, so triumphant. Kendrick knows how to pace an album. And this one is amazing to end it off. So with that, this has been Kendrick Lamar songs tier list. His entire core discography. This is my first YouTube video, and this is something I've thought about doing before. Didn't really expect to do it as my first video, but it took a lot more time than I expected, and I'm glad that with learning how to actually make a video, that I got to do it for something that I care about so much. This has truly been a labor of love, and if you've liked watching the video and you want to see more, I've got a lot of ideas in the tank. Go ahead and hit subscribe, or if you agree with my rankings, hit the like button, or if you just like watching Kendrick Lamar videos as well, you can do so. or if you think Bro should never rate again. Let me know in the comments. But without further ado, I will sign off. My name is Jake, as I said, and I hope you enjoy my list. Thank you very much.